Good evening and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Platform on your choice station NTA Channel 5 Ado Ekiti. I'm your host, Tai of Offshore. One of the innovations in the digital space that has made several activities easier and more accurate is artificial intelligence, commonly called AI. On today's edition of Platform, we'll be discussing the effects of AI and how it has affected human activities. And my guest on today's edition of the program is a technological expert, Olasukomi Pelebe. Many thanks for being on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right, so what exactly is artificial intelligence? People have been hearing artificial intelligence. What exactly is artificial intelligence, and how is it different from the traditional software applications that many people are used to?
Okay, artificial intelligence is development of computer system, designed to match with human intelligence. And so far so good. It has been magnificent in terms of providing solutions to problems without having to crack your head for a long time. Um, it has also been helping in the process of engaging in fast learning and ensuring seamless work in terms of production and many things like that.
All right, so what is the difference between AI and software, the traditional software?
Okay, the AI is designed, like I said, to match up with human intelligence. It is just a kind of it works with an application. Of course, it is designed to improve on the manual aspect of human part in terms of the work putting in human effort and all that. So the difference is just very clear. This one helps us to quickly reason before human will arrive at a point. AI, artificial intelligence must have arrived at that point. Then it is it has also made reasoning more seamless. It has improved the productivity of people. So the manual way of doing things now has been eradicated completely by AI in recent days. Because when you look at it, people no longer depend on human capacity any longer. Many people depend on AI capabilities now in problem solving, in perception, reasoning, and decision making.
All right, from what you said, don't you see it as a way of as an application that can actually make a lot of people redundant? Because looking at the human brain is designed to be able to reason, to solve problems, and to be able to make things work. Well, when there is now an artificial intelligence that can actually do that faster, do you think it's actually making people use their brain lesser?
Yes, that is the motive behind creating artificial intelligence. It is to enhance human productivity. So it is only to enhance human productivity, not to sideline human productivity. Maybe, for example, what we are supposed to do within the next 7 days, AI will do it within the space of 30 seconds. So, in fact, it is not going to be up to 30 seconds before AI give you the solution to those problems. But the major thing is just enhancing human productivity. That is just the major thing.
Okay,
It
so
is not going to eradicate the human part of life. No. There are two, even as a matter of fact, you still need a human before a desire can perfectly work.
all right, so in what
That's equally a program.
so in what areas of life and what sectors do you think AI can actually help human beings?
It has been happening in various facets of human endeavor in recent days. It was when AI was created in 1956, thereabout, by AI Winter. I think it was originally designed for academic discipline. But later, I think recently in the last decade, they just felt, okay, there is every need for them to improve on it. And let us look at in the other areas, it can equally help humans. And I can tell you that so far so good within the last 20 years, AI has become something that we as humans cannot do without. In production, AI is used to fasten to estimate as many as much production because it also has something to do with machines. So many a times the machine command recognize artificial intelligence, which is also from the human mind. So in production, even in the banking sector, in learning, which is academic environment, virtually every facet of life. Even sometimes I learned that somewhere in Europe there is a supermarket that developed a robot with artificial intelligence to match up with serving people at that mall because of the vast area of that mall. So those robots were there. They are taking instructions from artificial intelligence, and before you know it, they carry out those tasks without any stress.
All right. From what you just said now, the robots are servicing people in malls, and there's this fear that in no distant time that AI may actually take over human activities, which includes also taking over jobs and sending people out of jobs. What is your take on this?
That is not going to happen. Human space will always be there, and artificial space will always be there. Like I said earlier, there is no way you can use AI without human effort. So it's just going to reduce the level of stress that humans are going through. Of course, in some areas, it might actually take out some jobs, but not at every industries or every corners.
How can AI truly understand what human beings want to achieve? Let's take, for instance, in the medical world. Is it possible to have an AI that can actually take the place of a doctor operate on people? Because it's possible for a doctor to, okay, a particular ailment was diagnosed, and maybe on getting to the operation room, realize that, okay, something else is actually also involved. And is it possible for an AI to be able to solve those two problems if it's not been programmed in it? So, do you think AI can actually reason as much as a human being will reason, can achieve as much as a human being will achieve in some sectors?
Yes, but not in every sector. Like you said, in each sector, they take AI now in recent days take up to 60% of whatever job, whatever they have to do in the health sector in terms of diagnosing diseases or ailments, in terms of ensuring prescribing the necessary drugs, medications for the person to use. Then, in terms of quickly identifying the areas at which the doctor should go, AI has always been doing that, and it has been effective. But there has not been any record of AI carrying out operation on humans. Like I said earlier, this is an human intelligence formed in a computer system. So whatever the AI is still bringing is still part of what the human have thought that this should have been. So it is not going to, it's not taking the space of human, especially in the medical sector. But of course, it has helped greatly to ensure that the level of their stress is reduced.
All right. Let's look at innovation. Innovation is AI is also an innovation.
Yes.
So is it possible to use AI to create more jobs rather than actually to eradicate the fear that, okay, it's going to send many people out of jobs?
Yes, it can create more jobs, but it's going to be a quality job in terms of using AI creating job, because when you look at some applications now, it is still created by humans, but those applications are working as an AI. For example, of such application is this Siri on the iPhone. It is an application that is created by somebody, and that application created a job for millions of people. That's Siri. But however, the major part of what is good about that AI is that it will enhance the productivity of that particular person involved. So you cannot expect the way you task Siri on iPhone to do some certain things, or Alexa on Android phones. The way you task them to do some certain things immediately, and they are performing the duties. It might not be easy like that, to task humans like that to do what you have to do immediately. But in the aspect of creating jobs, it will create more jobs. But they are going to be high-profile jobs, not jobs that will accommodate any person on the street.
Yeah.
And AI is not even taking the space of people on the street. Many jobs that we are talking about are probably some factory works and some other things. AI is not going to take that. It's just going to enhance their productivity.
We'll come back to that. All right. Let's look at our environment. Nigeria is a third world country. So, what are the challenges of using AI in our environment here?
Number one is stable network. Then number two is facilities to use for that AI. Most persons got to know about AI through their mobile phones. Many people do not know that there is something like AI, artificial intelligence. But because you have a mobile phone, you have access to one, you'll be able to, get information about it. So what we just need to do as a people, as a country, is just for our leaders to provide a level playing ground for investors to come in and initiate this, these things in our environment to enhance human productivity. And by the time these things are done, you will see quality feedback. You will see quality things are being done. Today, AI is working perfectly in automobiles. And you see most exotic cars, you see them, giving directions, calling out streets and all that. In fact, it will even tell you some AI will even tell you there are dangers ahead. So they are working perfectly. So if Nigerian government can bring it, give us a level playing ground, I know there are a lot of people out there who have the knowledge, to develop some of these applications that we're talking about to enhance productivity in the country. So it is the only thing that I felt is going to be the challenge is a network and government policy environment to try.
Like us, let's just talking about our environment. How possible is it for younger people? Because if you look at people in their 50s, a lot of them don't really want to know more about it, AI and all that. But looking at the younger generations, those just coming up, how can they be indoctrinated into understanding this artificial intelligence, and so that they can also key into it and make things better, even for our country?
Today in Nigeria, with sampling opinion, it is discovered that between the age of 15 to 30 nowadays are well familiar with artificial intelligence through their mobile phone or one way or the other. But I want to tell you that it is not an issue. That what we all need to do is find a level playing ground for people, like I said, providing amenities for people to get involved. When you get to secondary schools today, you see that AI is most used by students, even in our institution, to carry out one or two tasks for them in terms of learning. Then when you get to there are some networking business in Nigeria currently going on. Many of them use AI intelligence to feature in many of their domains. So it is not an issue. You just need a level playing ground for the system to get generated in Nigeria.
All right. You talked about education now, and a lot of students now rely on AI in writing their assignments and doing a lot of learning activities. Right, so don't you think it is possible for them to get over dependent on AI because you always use AI in your examination, as the case may be? So how do you think they can balance it so that they don't get over dependent on AI and they are still able to learn and understand what they're expected to learn?
For me, AI is supposed to be a plus for anybody that is using it in terms of getting more knowledge about what you don't even know. Sometimes in schools, many of our lecturers, teachers, they might not even know something, but with the aid of artificial intelligence, the student, the smart one among them, must have quickly ask the AI some questions, and it is just to as in to equip them more, to enable them get more knowledge. It is not going to be a bad thing for them. The only thing is that they need to be smart about it. Learn instead of using it in the other way around. It will aid learning, and it is very good. I don't think if there will be any disadvantage, then it will be very little. So, but for students, it is a very good one for them. So, they might not take it to examination, but if they are smart, this will enable them, to get more familiar with the necessary things to do on their academic.
All right. Some school of thought believes that AI will affect the standard of education in a negative way, because they believe that students will no longer read, will no longer go for researches as they are supposed to, because some students now even use AI for their projects, not having to do the research as is expected of them. So, what is your take on this affecting the standard of education negatively?
For AI, in the recent days, there is still limit to what some AIs can do. So, there is no one who can say categorically that it will affect the standard of education in Nigeria. The only thing for me, it is going to enhance whatever that they are doing in the four walls of the classroom. For example, maybe there is a difficult task, to solve within a group of students or even in the class. I think lecturers should even encourage it. Maybe the institution management should encourage, televising on a big board for them, to get well aware or well familiar with what they can use AI for. So it is a plus for me. It's not a disadvantage, it's a plus. So, but people, Nigerians, many a times we abuse things. My advice is just that whatever that we are doing, let us just do it well and get it right. By the time we are doing that, you see that AI is a very good thing. It's a welcome idea.
All right. Thank you very much. If you're just joining us, the program is platform on your choice station NTA Channel 5 at Ado Ekiti. And since 15 minutes thereabouts, we've been discussing the effect of artificial intelligence and how it affects human activities. And my guest is a technological expert, Olasukumi Pelebe. All right, let's look at AI in in other sectors, in industry. You've talked about industry. And what industry, what sector do you think is vulnerable to disruption of AI? And what you mean disruption is that I think AI can come in and is going to cause a lot of shakings in subsector. And what do you think is the reaction?
Production. If AI will cause any damage or whatsoever in any sector, it should be in the production sector, because many productive companies now producing, they rely more on artificial intelligence, to carry out the designs, to carry out fast running of the activities in the company. Especially, let me talk about the automobile companies. Many a times they use AI more than every other person, because many of these cars that are designed, it is through the help of artificial intelligence that they do it. And when you look at their production, you see there are various types of machines moving from one place to another. So by the time you count human labor that are around that, you see that they are just minimal compared to the machine working. And when you look at those machines, they are purely artificial intelligence working. So at times, people are afraid because they felt artificial intelligence will take over many people's jobs. It is going to happen majorly in the area of production. Yes, it is going to happen really. Because even human too can be very weak at times. People that have been working years to years, and before you know it, they are getting tired. And that is why you see people getting retired at work and all that. So But artificial intelligence will not be retired. So it continues as long as those machines are still effective. It keeps working. So that is only the area I felt there may be shortage. But in the area of education, it is going to enhance it. And in finance, it is enhancing it. Where again? Any other industry, it is going to be enhancing, performance, productivity, and all that. So that is.
Okay, so still talking about production. So, what do you think those in that sector can actually do to actually make sure that their jobs are secured, or maybe to even diversify and also get acclimatized with AI?
People should be well developed. Like I used to tell some of my friends, when you are doing something and you are still getting one result at the same time, try and do it other way. Maybe you get a better result than what you have been getting before. So my advice is anybody who is in the production industry, they should just equip themselves more and look at how they can bring new things, new innovations into the system. It was somebody who brought about AI in the first place. So if as a person you are thinking vastly, you should be able to think that, okay, what if we should be ahead of our thinking in respect to AI. So I just want to advise that you should get well equipped, get more training, so that even if AI will have to take place, then there will still be room for some certain persons. But of course, human productivity cannot go on for life. It's either you change some persons, some people come on board and all that. So that is the only thing.
All right, let's talk about the education sector.
Okay.
I've talked about AI enhancing education and all that. Look at Nigeria. Do you think Nigeria is utilizing AI effectively in our education sector? And if not, how do you think we can improve on this?
For now, I have not seen any standard citadel of learning, imbibing the use of AI for teaching, for learning, and all that. The only thing is that people complain a lot about government not providing this and not doing that and not doing that. But our institutions, they should look inward about how they can enhance. Everybody is looking at how to get better, and that is why you see they award the best university in academics and this and that. So if the management have a foresight, let them look at how they can bring about the use of AI in standard learning. The world has advanced. So today, many a times, you will even see in many of our higher institutions, many of the lecturers are no longer going to class. They just give notes, go and study this, go and study this, do this assignment, do that. So if the lecturers are even aware of the work or the magic AI can perform, they will welcome it because it will equally help them to increase their own knowledge. So government, management of institutions, individuals should try as much as possible provide AI for learning in our institutions. Let them give what it takes to provide artificial intelligence in our institutions. So by so doing, you'll see that learning will be very seamless.
Right. So how do you think people can maximize AI to generate money for themselves?
For that, right now, you have to know about programming, to learn about computer-based applications before the AI can bring in money for it. But I don't think for now we are equipped for that in Nigeria or maybe in Africa. We are not equipped for that because, like I said the other time, I said Siri on the iPhone and Alexa on Android phone are created by a person. So these are part of how they can use that to generate money for themselves. But in the local way, there are still very, like you talked about the issue of writing projects and all that. I know of many students who depend solely on people to write projects for them. So instead of spending a lot of money on people to write projects, at the end of the day, there will still be series of mistakes, corrections to be. Why not invest a little in AI to do that for you? There are a series of AI that are performing higher learning for people. So that is the only way I feel they can bring about it. Then in some of the only thing I know AI can do now is reducing cost of production and cost of giving out services to people. So that is the only thing I feel they can still, because we are not still at the level of producing machines or trying to do some applications and all that can generate. So, but for now, it will help us reduce costs.
All right. So, what kind of regulation do you think government can implement to cope some of the challenges that could be generated through AI?
Regulation. I don't know for now, but what I think is, if government must embrace the use of AI in the country, what they need to do is just provide amenities that will work alongside with the required AI for various sectors. Then I don't know for now what they can do to put sanctions on excessive in some industry. But I think when we get there, that will be a way forward.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, this is how far time will allow us to continue the edition of the program. I want to appreciate my guest, Olasupo Mr. Technology Code Expert. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
And dear viewers, many thanks for watching. Join us next week for another edition of Platform. Until then, bye for now.
Nta Ado Ekiti is the station people want to associate with. We move along with time in our various programs to make you aware and appreciate your environment. Is it our news of people, places, and events? Variety of children's